100. Nacha 3.9 okay.
93.9, your remedy dial.
My name is Oladapo Okunubi, aka Young Striker, and you're welcome to Kickoff Sports Show. And well, it is the first half of AM Update. Well, it's good to be back after Shooting Star Sports Club of Ibadan defeated Blanchard United 3-2 in the midweek NPFL game. Also, a day where we all get set for that bout between Anthony Joshua and Jamin Franklin. Favor Lawrence is also here. Good morning to you.
Well, I told you, do not underestimate a wounded lion. Good morning, everyone. And also, congratulations to number 7-4 for beating champion Arena Sabalenka in the Miami Open, moving to the final. Quarter-final, semi-final, everything together. My name is Favor Olorunshola.
Well, if you move to the next round, you also must be ready to face the biggest task. That is what it takes at the Miami Open, right? But now let's just move to the other side. This morning, we'll start with stories coming from NBA and tennis.
Starting from NBA this morning is just one man who is on the news. That's Julius Randle, who will undergo evaluation on Thursday after exiting the New York Knicks 101-92 win over the Miami Heat on Wednesday with a left ankle. Well, the Knicks forward was helped up and initially stayed in the game, but was visibly incapable of playing on and ruled out of the halftime. But the New York Knicks will mix them. But let's also talk about the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, who is hopeful a new collective bargaining agreement between the league and the players can be approved before Friday's deadline. If not, he said the league's plan would then be to opt out of the current CBA.
Okay, moving away, and let us look at results of games decided. And we, as of today, the NBA Milwaukee Bucks went on the road, defeated Indiana Pacers 149-136 points. And for other results, Brooklyn Nets defeated Houston Rockets 123-114 points, where Miami Heat lost on the road, losing 92-101 points against the New York Knicks, as Dallas Mavericks lost 108-116 points against the Philadelphia 76ers. It was LA Lakers beating Chicago Bulls on the road 121-110 points, and Memphis Grizzlies losing 132-141 points against LA Clippers. But looking at other results, Oklahoma City Thunders, that was a tight one, beating Detroit Pistons 107-106 points, while San Antonio Spurs lost 117-128 points against Utah Jazz. Phoenix Suns far better than Minnesota Timberwolves 107-100 points, as Portland Trail Blazers sat back at home, conceded defeat, losing 80-120 points against Sacramento Kings, 80-120. So that's like 40 points difference. But let's just move away from the NBA this morning. Let us talk tennis.
Well, the Italian tennis Jannik Sinner downed Emil Raducanu to secure his berth in the Miami Open semi-finals, along with bringing up the 20th win of the season on Wednesday. Sinner, who dropped only 1 point on first serve, won 6-3, 6-1 over Finn in 1 hour and 16 minutes. Also, I said it earlier about the women in the Miami Open as well, who is no other person than Sorona Cristea, who produced a major shock in the Miami Open quarterfinals after toppling 2023 Australian Open champion Arena Sabalenka in straight sets on Wednesday. That is unbelievable. Anyway, it's just a new win for Arina Sabalenka. Hopefully she does better and she's back in another tournament.
Okay, well, quickly looking at other updates, talking tennis this morning. Well, we have by 6 o'clock, Christopher Eubanks will take on Dani Medvedev and ATP 1000 Miami Open game scheduled for today, as we have Karen Takinov battling Francisco Cerundolo. And well, the doubles, another doubles game going down today. We see Nicolas Mahut to team up with Austin Krajicek to battle Fabrice Martin and Kevin Krawient. And for the WTA, Ekaterina Alexandrova will take on Petra Kvitova by 8 o'clock tonight. Away from tennis this morning, let us talk boxing, and it is still more of the bout going down this weekend. Tyson, it is Anthony Joshua and his opponent Jermaine Franklin. Well, but I mean, having their discussion yesterday at the presser, it was Jermaine Franklin saying that it will be a big opportunity for him to also bounce back after the last defeat. He's been unbeaten before losing his last bout. If you look at the track record of Jermaine Franklin, he looks like a man that can serve Anthony Joshua a breakfast.
First off, I want to say it's an honor to be back, and I appreciate the opportunity. But yeah, in the beginning, I've just been on a little health journey, so changed my eating habits, changed stuff I was consuming. Body weight just started falling off, But we have more time to prepare for this fight, so I'm more ready. I'm more in shape. I'm just ready to let the fireworks go. I mean, I'm just a huge fan of the sport. I watch a lot of boxing, so I watched AJ fights way before we even had this opportunity or thought it was possible. I'm just a huge fan of the sport, but yeah, my confidence is always great. I think you in the wrong business if you don't truly believe in yourself. It's not the right game for you. So you always have to have the extreme utmost confidence in yourself, and you just have to put the faith and the works behind it.
I've seen many interviews where you say you're gonna knock him the fuck out. Is that the plan on Saturday?
That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, I'm gonna get the win by any means possible. I can put him on his. I'm gonna try to do.
Sometimes when you have the presser having a build up to a bout, you will see, you also heard a lot, going down, having some F words, swear words. But if Jermaine Franklin, look at his record here, the record speaks for itself. He lost against Dillian White November 26, 2022, and before that, he has been winning. And look at the record of the total knockouts. Also looking at some decisions, but he has lost just one. He had 22 fights, winning 21, losing 1. For total knockouts, he had 14. So it shows that this man has something to offer. But an Anthony Joshua that lost back-to-back against Alexander Usyk going into this one, this man sounds motivational, but maybe he knows what he's saying. But Anthony Joshua has been training with a big team, and he has been able to give them thumbs up and saying, well, when you speak with some guys, you train with some guys and they understand what you do, that means psychologically you're good to go. Look at Anthony Joshua's bout. He has had 24 wins, 3 losses. And when we come back, we explain more of his results.
When you're a student of the game, there's certain times where you can be on the same level as people that you speak to about boxing. But when I speak to Derek, and I obviously ask him certain questions, the knowledge he spits is phenomenal. Like, the knowledge that he gives me is really, really, really good. And we're at a stage now, like, when you're at this side of the fight, the physical work's done. All fighters know, like, fight week, you're still training because it's just part of our nature, but the physical work's done. It's all about the knowledge. That's where you got to train your mind. And honestly, Derek is up there as one of the best people I spoke to about boxing. So I appreciate his time. I appreciate the fact that he took me on, because I'm sure he's a well sought after coach. And yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to showing him that he ain't wasted his time by taking on this project. Yeah. When you strip boxing back, it is very basic. A lot of it's down to self-belief, number one. That's how you start off. And then, as I said, knowledge. You just gain knowledge and you just apply it in the ring. You fight with desire, and then you can add some skills along the way. I was based in the Olympic gym in Sheffield for years. Obviously, that's a big setup because you've got hundreds of fighters, international fighters coming in. But in the world-class boxing gym in Texas, there's a few of us pros just putting in the groundwork. And as you said, that's probably what you saw was different, is I'm not around like hundreds of other fighters in the gym. It's just like 3 or 4 of us just putting in work. But like when you disconnect from everything, which is hard to do in this day and age, we're so connected, I took myself away to disconnect, and all the answers, all the questions I've been asking myself, the answers came in that like quiet time. Do you know what I mean? And it's been a good camp, and it's good to be back in the UK. But everyone knows the UK is a little bit dead now. I mean, so I just can't wait to get back out to Texas.
It is good when you say you're back, but the question is, can you be back fully? In getting the win. You had your last 2 bouts losses against Alexander Usyk. And looking at the 3 losses he's had, Anthony Joshua has had 1 by knockout and 2 of a split decision. But for his win, he has had a 22 wins by knockout and 2 by split decision.
I like Jamie Franklin's stand on him playing Anthony Joshua, but I feel like Anthony Joshua can still win this game, probably because he's older, he's more experienced, and he can actually do it's very, 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 very motivational. He really wants to get that win so that he can stay, and I believe that Jamie Franklin may not be that worthy opponent as Alexander Usyk.
Maybe if you say that, but look at his record. Record speaks.
Record speaks, but considering experience and agreeing on, there might be a huge difference.
Jamie Franklin is not a greyhound here.
It might not be.
Look at his
what I'm
total
talking
knockout
about
here.
is his record with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is more experienced. I guess Anthony can still use experience to win this bout.
If you think about experience, Anthony Joshua having 24 wins, and for Jamie Franklin has 22 wins.
Look at the people Jamie Franklin has taken on.
But let's also look at it. The boxing ground they are moving into the O2, the last fight of Anthony Joshua at the O2 Arena in London was he won against Dominic Breazeale. And before that one, he had another bout, and that was in 2016, 25th of June. Before that, 25th of June, 9th of April, 2016, he defeated Charles Martin. So maybe this can also bring back that winning mentality, because after leaving the O2 Arena, he fought in Manchester, fought in Wembley, Principality Stadium, had the Madison Square Garden where he lost against Andrew Hughes Jr., the first loss, and went to the Riyadh Arena in Saudi Arabia where he won back the title, went to London against Kubrat Pulev, he won, but from Tottenham's ground, he lost against Alexander Usyk. Even went to Saudi Arabia feeling like he was going to get that mentality back, he lost.
The only thing I feel might be against Anthony Joshua might be age.
Well, if you think of age, but you remember there are some old wines in new bottle. Okay, now let's move away and let's talk about shooting stars returning to winning ways in the Nigerian Professional Football League. It was match day 11 in the NPFL. On Wednesday, results came. Some shocking goals were scored, but the game decided at the Lagos Salami Stadium produced 5 goals. Shooting Stars conceded first before scoring 3 goals, and later, while Tosi Omojala, the media officer of the team, was saying, "Thank you very much for coming to Lagos Salami Stadium." Plateau United scored 1, and at that point, everywhere went dead, like expected. Maybe the game was going to end in a draw, but at the end of the day, Shooting Stars won their game 3-2, maybe pressure off Bengal Gumbote's side. But let's just quickly take a rundown of all the results decided in the NPFL match at 11.
All right, it was Abia Warriors picking maximum 3 points on their home front against Enugu Rangers, defeating them 2-1. Bendel Insurance and Aqua United played a 1-all draw. Takada FC Bayelsa United also 1-all draw. Ramos Stars of Oladapo Kunubi picked away 3 points against the Academy Warriors, defeating 2-1. Ayimba and Nasser United played a 1-all draw. Gombe defeated Kwara United 1-0. Nata Toledo is ahead. Wicked Thoris 2-0. Shooting Stars 3-2. Plateau United 2. Shooting Stars 3. Sunshine Stars, Doma United, that was a 1-all draw. Those were all the games that were played yesterday in the NPFL.
Okay, now a quick look at the standings in the NPFL. Following the match day 11, Bendel Insurance still number 1 on the NPFL log. But I think a question needs to be asked about Bendel Insurance. It's now back-to-back drawn games. Maybe this team is gassing out. 25 points for Bendel Insurance. Remo Stars is back to the second spot with 20 points. Now winning 6, drawing 2, losing 3. Bendel Insurance yet to lose. And next game for Bendel Insurance is against Plateau United that lost here in Ibadan. For Remo Stars, the next game is at home playing against Gombe United. Aqua United is third with 19 points. That's in Group A. In Group B, Rivers United still holding on to that top spot with 19 points. Lobby Stars is second with 19 points from 10 matches. While Abia Warriors from 11 games is placed third with 18 points. Looking at the teams in the relegation zone, Wicked Warriors of Bochi and Dakara FC in the 9th and 10th spot of the NPFL log with 9 and 8 points from 11 matches. Nasarawa, that's in Group B. In Group A, Nasarawa United is with 8 points from 11 games. El Kanemi Warriors with 5 points from 11 matches, and they've lost their last 4 matches, meaning El Kanemi Warriors may be saying goodbyes to the NPFL. But I mean, there's nothing impossible in the game of football, so do not underestimate. But remember, Shooting Stars, following their win yesterday, now 7th on the NPFL log. Their next game is against Kwara United.
That's an easy win, I guess.
Kwara United is behind them with 12 points. Of victory for Shooting Stars will give them 15 points, which will just shift them to the 6th spot. Meaning, they need to just start winning games. They need to keep scoring goals. Look at the goals conceded. They've conceded 17 goals.
This win at the Lakon Salami Stadium should be a motivation for Shooting Stars to actually win Kwara United.
But I was at the stadium yesterday, and I felt I didn't really enjoy the game because after scoring 3 goals, they relaxed. They started coming up with these tactics of time wasting, which they could have scored more goals. I mean, if you had scored more goals, they had opportunities of scoring 6 goals yesterday. If they had scored 6 goals, Kwara United are lost on the road against Gombe United will be scared of hosting them. Remember, Kwara United played at the Lagos Salami Stadium in the first half of the season. Now they are playing in Akure. Well, though Akure is not far away from Ibadan, so it is more of the supporters also right there in Akure, even the fans of Shooting Stars to also go with them, give them the motivation. But let's keep our fingers crossed about that particular one. Right, okay, moving away from the NPFL result, let us talk about Stefano Pioli this morning.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Well, Stefano Pioli insisted nobody is perfect or unbeatable as AC Milan prepare to overthrow Napoli in the All-Italian Champions League quarter-final clash. Milan and Napoli will meet for the first time in European competition on April 12 in the first leg at the San Siro, with Luciano Spalletti's side flying high in Serie A and UEFA top club competition. Well, but Milan have only lost one of their 9 all-Italian showdowns in Europe and purely sees no reason why the Rossoneri cannot dream of progressing past Balletti in form side.
Okay. All right. I mean, it is good to be positive, like Favor will always say. But let's look at what we're going on in the Italian Serie A come this weekend, 1st of April. Cremonese will take on Atalanta. Inter Milan hosts Fiorentina. Juventus will be up against Verona. Bologna hosts Udinese. Lazio travels to play Monza on the 2nd of April. Spezia take on the Salernitana. AS Roma hosts Sampdoria. AC Milan Napoli will battle each other this time around as Empoli battles Lecce. Torino, that will be a Monday Night Football against Sassuolo. So Torino, Sassuolo, Lecce, Empoli will have their game on Monday. Napoli leading the log with 71 points from 27 games. We'll move away from Italy this morning and let's talk England.
Well, I love England football, and the members of Arsenal and Aston Villa technical teams have been charged by Football Association over an alteration during their Premier League game last month. The Gunners staged a remarkable 4-2 comeback at Villa Park on February 18, sealed a dramatic own goal courtesy of the former goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez.
Okay, well, still talking about what Arsenal and Aston Villa will have to tell the FA. Alexandra Mitrovic and Marco Silva have issued apologies over the dismissals during Fulham's FA Cup loss to Manchester United earlier this month. The pair were both shown red cards by referee Chris Kavanagh during the seismic passage of play at the Cottagers 3-1 quarterfinal exit at Old Trafford. I mean, apologies have been made, but will the ban be revoked? I don't know. But let's talk about celebration on the show this morning. Legendary managers Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger have been inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame. Remember, the story was all out there yesterday, but here is Arsene Wenger, a mini documentary, talking about that Hall of Fame. Before getting to that, you have to sweat.
I cannot say I raised a lot of enthusiasm when I arrived.
How much are the players looking forward to Arsene Wenger arriving?
Who? Arsene who? Unknown, French, no history of success.
What's in this way, please?
What you want in life is a chance, and I got the chance.
The way we were playing, the way we were eating, the way we were training, everything that we were doing, he changed.
They chanted on the bus, we want our Mars bars.
Yes, they wanted the chocolate back on the bus.
All of that was gone.
I banned it all.
He transformed the club. He challenged English football to open doors and open the mentality.
Right from the start, he made us realise that we could be whatever we wanted to be. We could be champions.
This would be a fairy story. Tony Adams clinches Arsenal's championship. Nobody says Arsene who now.
It was all down to Arsene. I don't think that happens with somebody else.
I think winning the double in '98, give him that aura, give him that credibility to do what he did next.
Winning is not enough. The obligation of perfection is the most important for me.
The atmosphere at Highbury is positively crackling.
He was the only one who believed that we could go through the season unbeaten.
The guys, they said they couldn't believe that he said that and made that public.
No, my friends, I believe you can really do it. Do you want to become immortal now or not?
That is brilliant! And the Arsenal juggernaut rolls effortlessly on.
It's the first side of the modern era to go through a season unbeaten. The champions and the deserving champions are Arsenal.
When I look back at it today and how the whole season went, I really feel I was crazy.
So you just heard that. I mean, for Arsene Wenger, unknown in England, someone who has never won titles, coming to Arsenal and turned that team to a title-winning side, an invincible side. And well, maybe Chelsea can pick a cue from that. If you have Graham Potter, who has never won a title, so you can believe in him, right? Did I just say Harry Potter?
You missed that movie, but
Yeah. Okay, so we say congratulations to Arsene Wenger, congratulations to Sir Alex Ferguson. But let's talk transfer stories this morning. Let's talk money on the table.
It's all about the money. Okay, let's talk about Bayern Munich, who will...
well, there's going to be a big game this weekend. It's going to be Bayern and Borussia Dortmund. But we are not sure of some key players who will miss that game.
Okay, former Spain and Barcelona coach Luis Enrique wants to work in England, but has similarly ruled out of replacing Antonio Conte at Tottenham. I thought we were talking about Nagelsmann.
Yes, Nagelsmann, who was fired by Bayern, replaced by Thomas Tuchel right there in German Bundesliga.
He's no longer on the...
No. I mean, it is not about replacing, not a quick fix, because according to Tottenham, they said they are not looking for a quick fix right now, but they just want to get things right ahead of next season. And assistant to Antonio Conte will be in charge for the remainder of the season. But for Luis Enrique, I mean, you would not want to go to Tottenham Hotspur. You know the kind of problem they have. You know the record they had with Mauricio Pochettino, whom they waited for, and you know they got to a big stage which they could have allowed him stay, but he was allowed to go. Jose Mourinho got to the final of a cup competition. You allowed him leave. You have Antonio Conte with few games to the end of the season. You guys parted ways on a mutual consent. And so if Luis Enrique, who's got a good record right there in Spain, will want to come to England, I don't think Tottenham Hotspur will be the next place for him.
Well, Marcus Rashford has denied nonsense claims he is holding up a huge £500 a week deal to stay at Manchester United. The England international, who has scored a career best 27 goals in 44 games this campaign, is due to be out of a contract at Old Trafford at the end of the season.
Okay, a Rangers fan has been jailed for a year after throwing a bottle at Celtic as physiotherapist during an Old Firm game, leaving him scarred for life. So anybody that goes beyond what is to be done in the game of sport, if you deserve the ban, so be it. But hey, remember, the ladies will be playing the quarterfinals UEFA Women's Champions League tonight. And Wolfsburg ladies will take on Paris Saint-Germain ladies as Chelsea women will be up against Olympique Lyonnais women. From here, we have to wrap up the show and we'll move to the other side where we look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. Ayodeji Ajishope presenting is here this morning. Favor Oloruntola is here this morning. Damola Lafenwa will also be here this morning.
It's as if you
how you doing? I just want to like mimic you this morning. How you doing? Good morning to you. I'm good. Yeah. So you've never told me the club you support. Don't tell me shooting stars.
I support football.
You support football.
Let me tell you why.
Why?
In 2000, I remember I was on my way to Abuja, and Nigeria was going to play Cameroon in the Africa Continental Finals. We were racing to Abuja.
Nigeria, Ghana 2000.
Nigeria, Cameroon.
Oh yes, that's the tournament. But the final was Nigeria, Cameroon.
And we had to quickly stop at Gwagwalada to watch the match. And of course, you remember that Ikpeba penalty.
Yes, that's Kanuma was lost.
So that was a year I stopped supporting clubs and nations. I watch football and I enjoy football
because
I like something.
This life is so sweet. You cannot come and kill yourself.
I don't earn bonus.
Yes, I understand. Well, so very soon we'll be talking. Everything. What is on the headlines on the Nigerian newspapers. We'll say a big shout out to Ezi Malians, Shegun Folabi, Agunbi Ade Sheriff. My name is Oladapo Kunubi. I'll be back tomorrow morning.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data, just use Momo. You wan pay for market wey you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account. Make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo.
Ibadan! Elections are over and it's time to come together as one. Join Benga Dink and friends at Laugh Matters the Southwest Unity Tour. Featuring Q-Dot, FaZe, SJXY, Jesse King Puga, Oke Bakassi, Funky Malam, Omar Baba, Dr. Smile, Baba Laria, General Lack, DJ Sexy, Baba Kamo, Archbishop, Wally Agba, Lepashos Bose, Nepa Boys, Koja, Tai Chi, Paul the Good Guy, and more. Regular 3K, VIP 10K, Table of 8, Gold 250K, Platinum 500K. Tickets available at Fuko Supermarket Outlet, Gracie Mart Akobo, Grand X Store Outlet, Ultima Restaurant Outlet, Filmhouse Cinema Dugbe, and Samonda. Hescent Palms Mall and online at ariatickets.com. Date is the Sunday, 9th of April. Venue, Jogos Center, Ibadan. Time, 3 p.m. Powered by Maltina and Goldberg. Supported by the Oyo State Government. Laugh Matters, Ibadan. Kosi Pressure. Media partners. Solutions 93.9 FM.
Kadara, destiny. Who decides where we are born?
Gangs of Lagos na the ogbonge tori of Isaleko Street King Obalola and im gang with better actor and celebrity dem like Toby Bakari, Adesuwa Tomi Wellington, Chike, Iyabo Ojo and plenty big names dem. Chai! Gangs of Lagos na correct film. Download Prime Video now make you sef enjoy 7-day free trial. Terms and conditions dey o. Oh yeah, japa to Prime Video.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Okay, it's the 30th day in the month of March 2023. My name is Adi Damala Lafenwa, and with great pleasure I welcome you to the From the Daily segment on AM Update on that your number one radio dial, Solutions 93.9 FM. Good morning, Favor.
Good morning to you, Adi Damala Lafenwa. Good morning, Mr. Jishope on the other side there.
Damala, good morning.
I'm doing very fine, thank you. Well, this morning, I'll be taking stories from the Nigerian Tribune and the Nation newspaper in Nigeria.
And I'll be taking stories from the Punch newspaper as well as the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
Well, let me start with the Nation as a FECO case, 24.2 billion naira for free internet in airports, others, and that's on page 3 of the Nation newspaper. Incoming governors unfold agenda for states. Position Portable faces police probe. I saw this video yesterday and I got laughing. I want to make it. I'm
Oh, you're referring to the portable
that video. It still makes
me.
It still cracks me up whenever I even hear it. But elections credible, fairly conducted, says Adeyeye. And then we have DSS warning interim government plotters of dire consequences. There was a story yesterday saying that must have been picking one after the other. And Secret Police won't tolerate moves to scuttle democracy. Experts, interim government plot treasonable. Tinubu, my mandate best birthday gift from Nigerians. Associate friends, others well wishers at President-elect 71st birthday prayers. You can find the story on page 5. NPC, Nigerians won't answer religious-related questions during census. Ondo gives automatic jobs to 34 doctors as Kwara to old council pose.
Okay, I'll be taking my first shot at the Punch newspaper this morning, and starting from the cap headlines, I have this one that says, a presidency rare privilege I won't squander. Tinubu. That story is on page 8 of the Punch newspaper this morning. FG plans sanctions as 633 die in oil operations. That story is on page 19 of the Punch newspaper. How I will tackle police corruption, PSC chairman. That's on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. And going straight to the banner headline on the Punch newspaper this morning, arrest interim government plotters, APC PDP tell DSS. And riders to that, saboteurs planning court orders, protest to stop Tinubu's inauguration agency, interim government alien to constitution, campaigners pseudo-democrats, say APC PDP. And moving further, I have this one that says that 26 children, 125 adult Libyan returnees land in Lagos. Ramadan, election riggers, Yahoo boys fasting in vain, say clerics. You find the story on page 15. And another one says, burglars jailed 7 years for robbing patients. Jonathan, that is Mama Peace. You find the story on page 5 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And you remember that issue, that case of a 12-year-old girl that died at Christian School in Lagos.
Yes.
Okay, the stories in the news again. Whitney, Christian School workers' trial begins today. That story is on page 28 of the Punch newspaper this morning.
All right, let me take you through the Nigerian Tribune this morning with this one saying U.S. recovers $53 million from legal contracts involving Aluko Omokore. And then we have this one, too, Senate set to recover 6 trillion unpaid ground rent from property owners. BVN fraud, 513 names linked to 1,370 accounts. Investigation begins. Amnesty Office in page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Kaduna tops as 17 outgoing governors grow state IGR in 7 years. NBS. Gunshot injury court orders Amoteku Ondo government to pay motorcyclists 30 million naira. I want 4 Nigerians. My manifesto, not mere words, says Tinubu at 71. That is, I won't fail Nigerians. Kano APC governorship candidate accept defeat. Congratulate governor-elect. And Lagos drivers protest hike in Agbiru, fees commuters stranded. All right, so the same story on the interim government there, but this one has this little one saying key players behind plot identified.
Okay, let me move to the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And this one coming from the CAP headlines, we have this one that says, opponents kick as governor-elect gets certificate of return. That story is on page 5. APC governors express confidence in Tinubu's ability to turn Nigeria around. That story is on page 8. Buhari swears in ex-IGP Arase as chairman Police Service Commission. US hikes students' tourist visa fees by 15%. Now moving straight to the banner headline this morning. Polls, DSS confirms plots to install interim government. There are quite a number of riders to that which I wouldn't want to read now because of our time, but you find the story on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Moving further, BVN fraud, PAP probes 513 ex-agitators linked to 1,370 accounts. Another one says, ascribing ethno-religious motives to obedient movement will fail. That story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. Bandits execute 5 of 60 abducted villages in Niger. That's not a good one. It's coming on page 6 of the Vanguard. Okay, I think I'll have to match my breaks there. And we talked about having Mr. Ayodiji Adishokwe with us this morning. We will be analyzing some of these issues we've talked about on the headlines of the pages of newspapers this morning. Good morning once again.
And favor too. Good morning.
Okay, now let's kick over. Do we have any commercial for now?
No.
Okay. Okay, there is this screaming headlines, I think in virtually all the papers talking about the DSS raising alarm. And I would like to take I want to quote a particular paragraph on that, on the pages of the Punch newspaper this morning reporting this issue. It says DSS said it identified some key players in the plot to set up an interim government in the country. Now, Mr. Yodija Adesope, knowing what the agency DSS stands for and what are the modes of operations, coming to the media and making this public, is it the right approach?
Well, we have seen a lot of drama from DSS since the days of the first chairman of the DSS. We have seen a lot of drama from security agencies in Nigeria. We have seen from EFCC. We have even seen some media trial from them. But the DSS, for the DSS to come out and say this, I would expect that DSS has done due diligence and probably made some arrests or engaged in close monitoring. But when you come out to say a thing like this, you are talking about national security here. National security. And they didn't tell us that there's anybody in their custody regarding this. You know, to question them and further dig deeper into it. We have not seen that.
And it's written here that DSS said it identified some key players. So if key players have been identified, why not just make the arrest?
Why not just take them in?
Why make it public? Because I was, let me say, I was raised to believe that DSS is meant to be like a form of a secret police.
It is.
That they should move in silence. Their mode of operation should be in silence. It shouldn't be on the pages of all the newspapers. Now coming up and saying, oh, like screaming Egbawao, you know, that kind of a thing.
Well, you see, I think because the DSS had been, in the opinion of the people, that DSS has been deployed for political motives.
No. Okay.
I mean, that was why DSS had to appoint a public relations officer, a secret service group, I mean, a public affairs manager. But when it came to a point that people had the opinion that DSS was being deployed, the same thing for EFCC, the same thing for DSS. So they had to appoint a public affairs manager. But when you come out, a secret service, you don't. When you come out and say that, that means you have solid evidence. They should be in custody. Some of them should be in custody already. But that's not what they told us.
But the statement, isn't it enough to cause unnecessary chaos in the country? Because when you're looking at an interim government, we have a president-elect coming up May 29. This is one step that shouldn't be taken at this point. It shouldn't be on the media, actually.
Nigeria is... Well, you will recall that last week, the president-elect himself said that there were moves to ensure that he was not sworn in. He didn't just name it as interim government or military government or whatever government. I mean, this is a direct...
Recall that the same president-elect made mention of the cash crunch as a move for him not to get into the become president of Nigeria during the elections as well.
Yes, you also recall that the governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasiru Rufai, said that those who failed to stop Bola Ahmed Tinubu during the party primaries, well, wanted to stop him during the election. Of course, they couldn't stop him. And, you know, people, when desperation is involved, they won't stop at anything. And this is what we're seeing playing out.
Well, to be honest, if we want to be honest with ourselves, ever since the presidential election and even the Guber polls were accomplished and some winners were declared, we've had some statements in the pages of newspapers coming from these politicians, and more of these statements, more like threatening, like something I read one time, was it a few days ago, one of the contestants in Lagos Guber poll was saying that if he wasn't sworn in as the governor-elect, Lagos will burn. You know, we've been having this kind of statement coming from people. And unfortunately,
these people, no arrest is being made. It's like anybody can just wake up and any morning and just make up and just make any threat that I will cause fire.
Well, what I think is that DSS too, they are being careful. When you make arrests now, you are going to inflame passions.
But once you've made a statement that is threatening, you've already done something that
yes, you have already
arrested.
done something, but your conduct, your actions must undermine national security. They have seen these people that their actions are undermining national security, but they have got to be very, very careful. You know, you arrest one prominent person now, you just trigger a conflagration, and everybody will cash in on it, and then they will get what they want. So I think DSS is just trying to manage the situation. When DSS comes out and say this now, then those guys will know that there is the possibility of the DSS coming after them.
Okay, let's move away a bit from the DSS thing, and there's a statement that said, presidency, rare privilege, I won't squander. And that statement is credited to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president-elect. And another one where I think people read something about that says, my mandate is the best birthday gift. Are this statement in any way saying that the man, Tinubu, is really prepared to turn things around?
When a man comes around and says it has been his life ambition, that those are weighty words. And when you juxtapose that with the fact that Nigeria has never had anyone that was prepared for office. Balewa never wanted to be prime minister. That was at independence. Aguiyi Ironsi was not prepared for it. It was thrust upon Gawan. Muritala Mohammed, well, a fiery person, but 6 months. Shagari wanted to be a senator. Shehu Shagari, he wanted to be a senator. Adamu Chiruma, who wanted to be president, you know, the usual political machinations. Who after him? After him, then Buhari himself.
But we know Buhari has been agitating and contesting to be the president for so long.
Did he look like somebody who was prepared for office when he eventually took office?
I saw a video of the president-elect 10 years ago. His state of health was much better than he is right now.
Who? The president-elect?
The president-elect.
His state of health?
The health of the president-elect as of 10 years ago was better. And you're saying that it's been his life ambition to be president of Nigeria. Looking at the way he's been recently, you think even with that preparation and the health, you think he's going to be able to do something good for Nigeria? Because let's recall Yar'Adua as well, who had great intentions for Nigeria. And see what
Yar'Adua never wanted to be president. It was Obasanjo that railroaded the man into office.
But when Yar'Adua was president, you would see that he actually was able and up to the task.
Yeah, because Yar'Adua had the intellectual depth. He had the intellectual depth to, you know. But, you know, when you aspire for something, when you desire something, desire, you have to be, you are driven. You are driven. And let me tell you, what is the mandate that Tinubu has? It's just to lay a foundation. You have a vision. That means if you have a desire, that means you have a vision.
I want to take you back to the past president we've had. Jonathan, too, wasn't he prepared?
Jonathan had no shoes.
Jonathan, wasn't he prepared for that?
He was railroaded into office by, you must run. Obasanjo, you must run. He was never prepared for office. Look, it was Peter Odili that was to be the vice presidential candidate of Yar'Adua. It was right there at Eagle Square that the speech, the man's name was removed, and they put Jonathan. Jonathan never wanted to be anything. He never wanted to be anything. Accidental president. Let us now see that, at least for once, we have a man who confesses that he has a desire. Oh, no, lifetime ambition, did he call it, Abi?
Are these statements strong enough for Nigerians to believe that, okay, this man is really ready, having knowing fully well that we've had so many people in the past that
took up the seat and they came up with promises. I will do this, I will do that, and when getting there,
it is not going to be a piece of cake, my dear brother. It is not going to be a piece of cake. It is not going to be a walk in the park. It is not going to be a picnic. Nigerians are going to experience some pain for it too. You know, bath pangs.
Pain in what essence?
Oh, if all subsidies is removed, that's going to be painful for a while until a period, you know. All these things, there's going to be pain, bath pangs. But let me tell you what surprised me about the president-elect. The speculations about his health challenges. And the man did a 36-state run. Probably not once. And meetings that will accompany that. It's not you just go to the campaign ground and wave at people and go home and sleep. Meetings and meetings and meetings and meetings. And the man at no time did he collapse? Did he disappear for a week or two? That I must tell you that actually surprised me in view of the speculation that had been on about his health. He still has up to May, right? He must assemble a team before May, but that's not like the rigors of a campaign. And whatever medical team has been taking care of him based on the speculation about his health, I think they have done a good job. Look at the president, the sitting president, Muhammadu Buhari. The guy is looking sweet after all the ill health challenges he went through. And Tinubu himself said the office of president is not going there to split wood, but it is going to be mentally and physically tasking. That one is sure.
So we should keep our fingers crossed and believe that he's fully prepared.
I believe so.
Okay.
I want to believe so. Let me put it in the right perspective.
Okay, let's move on to another issue right now. Just yesterday, we had the swearing in of a new chairman for the Police Service Commission. That is
former IG.
Former IG Arase. And on the papers this morning, he's talking about how he will tackle police corruption. I think it's one thing for somebody like him to accept the fact that there is corruption in the police.
He rose from ASP to IG. He must know what the problem is with the police. The Nigerian police is part of the Nigerian system, so you're not going to separate. This morning, I saw policemen collecting money. I mean, that's this morning as I was coming.
But right from my childhood, we've been hearing stories about some police officers being corrupt and everything. Do you really feel that between you and I now, that's just between you and I now, do you really think the Nigerian police can be wiped off, corruption can be wiped off Nigerian police?
You see,
because this is coming from a man that has been an IG.
Okay,
before.
Does he have a plan?
He said he has plans he has plans to tackle corruption, to eradicate corruption.
Let me tell you the very first thing that I think is wrong with the Nigerian police. It is called the Nigerian Police Force. There is no police in the world that has force added to its name. The police is not a force. You understand? You can have maybe nobody calls police force. They are a civil organization. But when you add force, and let me tell you, the colonial orientation, the police that the colonial master set up was to repress the people, to curtail the people, from harassing the colonialists. The police was not for us. The orientation has not changed. It is we against them. That orientation. The police must know that they are the people's police. But I do hope that when state police eventually comes into being, every state, will fashion their own police, whether state or local, to suit their own cultural environment. Nigeria police, look, it cannot work. You bring an Ibadan man, take him to Kara Namuda. He does not understand their language. He does not understand their culture. He does not even know the terrain. And he wants to police them. It does not work like that. That is not policing. In essence, you have to be using force. I wish him all the best. How many years will he spend there? Recruitment is one. I have a cousin that retired as an AIG. He told me that in their days, recruitment was on a monthly basis. Because people retire, you understand? People retire, high level, middle level, low level, one age or whatever number of years of service catches up with you. Every month, there was no big deal about it. There was recruitment at Ikeja Police College. Every month, it was routine. Now, recruitment is ceremony. Look at what happened to the last recruitment. 10,000. The commission, this commission the IG is going to head now, was fighting with the police IG itself. I don't know how they resolved the matter. 10,000, oh, 10,000. They were fighting. Who is going to do the recruitment? Who is in charge? And all of that. In whose interest? They just want to control the recruitment so that this one will have 200. And that is all. In whose interest? That one went to court. I can't remember how that was resolved. So, look, there's a new police act. Are they implementing it? One section of the police act is every prosecution, you know it's the police that prosecute cases. Every prosecutor must be a lawyer. Are they doing it or are they doing it yet? And that act 2022 is already in force. Let them go and do what is in the act first and stop telling us he's going to reform the police. Corruption in this country.
Now, that was a statement by someone a few days ago. I was in public transport, and I think the driver of that keke, didn't, go by the law. So the policeman stayed inside the marijuana.
Jumped inside.
Told him to park. So at the long run, they argued. Both of them stepped out. The driver and the policeman stepped out. And the driver went to meet the Oga. And then they settled it among each other. So someone was like, why would you do something like this? Definitely people will not respect the police force anymore, because even bike men, so how are they now upholding the law and making sure everything is balanced in the society, when we already know that there will be collection of 100 naira, 200 naira on the street for not even doing anything? They will just stop bike men for no reason. Things are just not working.
I think by default, let me just take it from where you stop. I think by default setting to people now, we believe that virtually all police officers
when you offend
are corrupt.
Just give them a little
not
stipend.
all policemen are
now,
corrupt.
Mr. Ayodeji, let me ask you this question. If you were to be in the position of Arase today, what are the steps you will take to eradicate corruption?
I will go and take a look at the 2022 Police Act. What does it say? What are the shortcomings? Look, training and retraining. But the government will say there are no funds. That tells you the priority we have for security. Do you trust the police to protect you?
Are you asking us?
Yes.
Are you asking?
Yes.
I think you're asking the audience.
But believe you me, the police, I have been privileged to stay closely with the police. You can imagine what the situation will be without the police. Believe you me, the police I give police due respect. You see, people don't respect the police, and I think it is wrong. It is not fair, really. There are hard-working policemen, and some honest. Imagine a society without police. It will be anarchy. The police are trying within. Look, DPOs, ask your media person, go to do a research work. DPOs, Divisional Police Headquarters, do they get impressed? They have operational vehicles. They must move around, and they will just say, do it. So all those money you probably see them, they are probably collecting on the highways, is to run their station. It's just a form of tax that they are collecting to run their station.
Oh.
And that was why I asked you that. What will you do to stop all that?
Look, but even the allocation that is given to the police, it's not as if they don't get allocation to run those divisions. It's not getting there. It is just to ensure financial discipline or accountability. But you see, the man himself is a part of that police force. When he was IG, what did he do?
That was my question. That he was an IG.
What did he do
for a number of years, and he couldn't.
What did Arase do as IG? That is now coming around and say he's going to reform the police. He was AIG. He was commissioner of police. He was AIG. He was DIG. What did he do that he will now do differently? I think they have to. But for me, go to the 2022 Police Act and work with that one first. But they need reorientation. And of course, the people too. They say police is your friend. I doubt if Nigerians believe that. Because if you go to a police station, you're not going to walk away.
Do you believe that statement?
That the police is your friend? You see, me. Because the way I know the police, and the way I relate with the police, I give them due respect. When I am approaching the checkpoint at night, I dip my headlamps. I put on my interior light. And when I get close enough, I switch off the headlamps to the park. They know they are sensitive, they are trained, and they know that all those moves are, respectful and giving them their due respect.
Due respect.
I don't look. Some people will just say, "Yeah," to put the. No, you don't treat. If it were you on the highway in the dead of the night, when others in their bed, and somebody comes to you, even insulting you in that location, that's not nice. I think people should respect the police.
Okay, let's reorientate the people right now. A few months back, let's just say 2 months, we didn't have cash in the country or circulating the country. There's this headline on the Nation newspaper saying banks worried over low cash deposit by customers. We need to reorientate Nigerians to take back the cash that has been dispensed by the CBN back to the deposit banks. We will definitely see cash.
People are afraid to go
back
take their money to the
and
bank
put
to
it in
deposit.
the banks. In fact, this is the way it was put. Fear has gripped deposit money banks that low deposits that have the low deposits from their customers, and they are not getting the monies that they've dispensed out. They're not getting it back into the bank.
Well,
it's really laughable.
I don't like. For some years now, I don't like carrying cash around. It's not. It's not even when you can do whatever you can do with your debit card. Why would I put 10,000 naira in my purse? What do I want to buy? What do I really want to buy? That I will put 10,000 naira cash. I'll just put maybe 2,000-3,000 so that in a situation that the electronic transaction might not work, you take a cab or whatever, small change. You're not going to see anybody. Look, have you ever seen anybody on the streets of London or New York carry $500? What for?
That place is conducive. Let's look at it this way. Mr. Dishokwe, you've got a vehicle.
Yeah.
You're mobile.
Yeah.
When you get to your house, you can actually get to the petrol station, insert your debit card into the POS, and you're debited. You buy your filling station. You go home. You refill your generator and you power your house. You can walk into a supermarket and get your debit card, buy anything you want to buy, and get out of it. Now, think the scenario of someone who needs that cash to move from one hand to the other. 1,000 naira at times cannot even cover you for a day, because you buy food. They will tell you that they're not going to get transfers. They do not want transfers, they want cash. So probably someone who has that kind of living situation needs about 3,000 naira to survive in a day.
Yeah.
And then you want to say, okay, I'm going to leave about 10,000 naira in my purse so that I won't look for cash anywhere. Don't you think that is reasonable?
Cash is available now.
cash is not really available, sir.
There are still long
There are
queues
still
in the
long
banks.
queues in the banks. There are still some
Well,
people that
what
cannot
about-
get 10,000 naira now, because some people would go to the ATMs and withdraw more than 10,000 naira, audit in their purses, and not even let other people even take 1,000 naira from the ATMs.
Well, I resolved to use my debit card because I know that if I put 10,000 in the morning in my purse, I will be. I know my weakness when it comes to
you'll be tempted.
Yeah, give me. I need 1,000.
Tempted to
I need
spend.
2,000. I have it. Let me give it.
But I'm looking at we have our traders that really deal in this cash, these large sums of money, and going by what, because we had so many. Thank God this cashless thing came up, and I think it's personally I see it as a way of evaluating ourselves whether we are truly prepared for this cashless thing. I know what I personally went through. It's not that I was making e-transfers and using my debit card, but there were some instances that I was told that we are not accepting transfers. We are not.
I was
taking-"
stranded.
There were times I was stranded. And I'm not a trader, but now let's look at the traders, our market women, men and women, and some of them that go to the villages to buy things in large quantities. And now I doubt if those people have access to 100,000 naira cash, they wouldn't even think about taking it to the bank.
They
to
would
deposit.
rather keep it.
They rather keep it at home, because when the time comes for them to go to these villages or to these local markets in the villages to buy goods, how will they get access to cash?
Now the question now is that maybe one of the reasons the CBN implemented this policy was to tame inflation. Now,
Certainly.
Now, with the cash that is in circulation and now it's being ordered, you do not want people to hoard cash. But because of what has happened, people have started hoarding cash. Doesn't it truncate the policy in itself?
Yes, any policy, no matter how beautifully laid out in black and white, when it turns out, when I collected, somebody called me yesterday that I should come and collect. Actually called me, a POS guy that I was collecting cash from during this scarcity. He called me. I said, show. I said, Emabo. So when I collected the money, I looked at it, the old notes. I said, for God's sake, why were Nigerians put through
all this hell?
And we are back to ground zero from where we took off on the January 15. Was it January 15 or December 15?
January.
We're back to that same location. What was it all about there? Everything has been, turned rubbish, utterly rubbish. Now we are back to that location. It is very, very sad. But the issue of inflation that you talk about, that means when people start hoarding cash, that means it is outside of the banking halls and it can no longer be monitored. When it is in the banking vaults or halls, you can track the movement of the money. This is where this is where this is the volume and all of this. This is going this sector. You can track. But I think people will understand. You are not going to hoard cash, are you going to?
But can we really blame those people that are scared of taking their money back?
How can you blame them? They're acting based on experience. They're acting, it's a normal human. But I know. I'm not going to. You guys are not going to hoard cash because we are not likely to go back to that scarcity situation since we have the old notes back in circulation.
Mr. Adishawa, you mentioned something about tracking cash.
Yeah.
I just want to ask this question. Is there a way the CBN can, insert something into the cash that would spend for tracking?
That would be a huge, monstrous operation.
It could happen. Instead of implementing this cashless policy, it could happen, and you can track each naira note that goes to anybody.
Trillions.
It can be a way to actually curb the things that CBN wanted to do with the cashless policy.
Look, it's your cash, it's your money. What for? Why would they want to do that? Why would they want to do that? They have other instruments they can deploy, like the one they deployed now.
An instrument that was deployed that has crashed?
Well, let me tell you the reason why it turned out that way. Because the objective the original objective is to get the cash back into the banking system. But they introduced a political objective. That is the only reason why it failed. The original objective is to bring money back into the banking system that was outside of the banking system. But they introduced what I would call a sinister motive, which was to deploy it as a political instrument so that politicians would not have money to spend during the elections and neutralize whatever old notes they had. Look, the moment, I have a cousin that says, the moment you take your eyes off the objective, decadence will set in. The moment they diverted their attention from the original intention and introduced that political and sinister motive, decadence sets in. Anything that decadence sets into, it will fail. And that's what has happened.
In your own opinion, what instrument should have been deployed aside from the cashless policy? Especially, the changing of the naira. Yes. Which other instrument should have been deployed?
Look, what the CBN set out to do is what they call the final straw. Recall all the money in circulation and then redistribute. But they introduced a political objective. And that's why it failed.
So there is no turning back now and there is no moving forward for the CBN?
Well, they still have until 31st December. I can assure you that CBN will regulate this time around. Strictly regulate what they're going to put out. And if people hold the cash and put it in their homes, CBN is not likely to issue more currency than what they will have made up their mind.
All right, so it's like back to square one. 0909 88 89 939 and 0912 22 22 939. 0909 88 89 939 0912 22 22 939. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Kemi calling from Akobo.
Okay, Kemi, good morning. Let's have a take.
My take this morning is if DSS confirms that there are some people plotting against the incoming government, I think they should do the needful by arresting them. We need action, not promise. Let them get into work. Let them arrest them. We want Nigeria to be peaceful. And on Oyo State, I want to use this medium to congratulate the elected governor for him, because we want to keep enjoying the good governance we've been enjoying under it.
Okay. Hello? Kemi Solaj. She's still there.
All right, Kemi, Mr. Adishope, she mentioned something about arrest. Arrest upon arrest upon arrest upon arrest just keeps coming up in Nigeria. We go to court. Still, these cases do not even see the light of day. We do not get the justice, especially when it comes to something this sensitive. Let me take this call. Oh, we lost it. 0909 88 89 939 and 0912 22 22 939. Good morning. Okay, that was lost too.
Yes, talking about arrest. In this particular situation, it is a very, very
delicate.
Yeah, very, very fragile one. I think for the DSS to come out and issue that statement is to openly say, we're watching you, we see what you're doing, be careful. Now, if DSS now goes ahead to make arrests, it's already the public domain that some people who are, up to some mischief, and we have seen you. If DSS now makes a move, because if DSS just goes out to arrest people, politicians, look, they have some mischief up their sleeves. All they want is a scenario in which they will just cash in on it.
Let's take this call. Good morning. Good
Hello,
morning.
Good morning.
Kemi calling back from Akobo.
Okay.
All right.
We just want to hold the elected governor in Oyo State. Please help us work on the security sector. We know he has invested heavily by between Amotekun and other security personnel, gadgets and vehicles. But we want him to work more, and we congratulate him on collecting his re-election ticket.
Thank
I
you.
hope Nigerian position will end from him. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can now.
Okay. I'm also calling from
All right.
Okay.
First, I want to congratulate Governor today for the returning certificate collected yesterday. And then, since we moving to the government of the people, he has always been there for us. We should continue in the leadership to say we not doing by the grace of God. Then concerning the interim government issue that DSS did yesterday, that they identified some politicians. They mentioned the names of those politicians so that we can know who are really the presidents of this nation, Nigeria, the enemies of this nation that have been working against this nation since before now. What of all things that we're having? Imagine people going out en masse on 26th of February to go and vote for leadership. And by now, some people will now come back to come and say that we're going to have a interim government after the president has been elected and declared. So what kind of government do we want to still keep having in this nation, Nigeria? A lot of this, DSS should please do the needful and expose them, and they should arrest them as well. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
very
very
much, Bosse, for that. 0909 88 89 939 and 0912 22 22 939. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Balkis Onodiro from Ibadan.
All right,
Okay.
Balkis.
This regarding interim government, I think first off, INEC has declared a winner, and INEC has not said otherwise that they are not going to swear in the winner. So whoever has issue with the outcomes of the elections should seek redress in court instead of inciting violence. Then also, there have been so many statements that I could reduce to as treason. For example, I watched the interview of the deputy candidate of Labour Party. Most of his statements were not really good. In an ideal society, he should have been invited for interrogation. On the other side, if the DSZ had noticed such vital, sensitive information, why should they make it public? This is how they do in advanced countries. You just have to be on your toes and stop tweeting like a blogger. I could see their tweets everywhere on Twitter for such sensitive situation. So they shouldn't do this next time. If at all there will be something like that in Terry, I'm sure those people will have to go and prepare Ada again. Then so finally, regarding the governor of Oyo State that got his certificate of return, the people voted for him because he did well. In this Omitu 2.0, all those anomalies that people have addressed, have pointed out, he should please address them and make sure he puts more capable hands as lieutenant so that his tenure will be more productive. May God bless Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you very much, Balkis.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
This is Kenny from Manhattan.
Okay, Ruth. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate Governor Shimakinde and his victory for collecting the certificate of return yesterday. For me, I was just urging to please continue serving the good people of your street, like the way it's doing. Because we are really enjoying the good infrastructural development in the state. You know, like the way he has done the roads in airport and even the navigation first storage inside the airport authority. So I just urge him should keep continuing investing on infrastructure and keep this to the state economy. And I pray that God will continue to help him. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Okay. About the interim government or interim government, DSS to make a step ahead those people because they don't need to be playing like opposition role. They are security agency. If their intelligence gathering is working effectively, all those people they need to interrogate them and invite them. And if they ignore, they should publish to the world to let us know who are those people that they want to truncate our democracy because we are not in a military regime. About the arrested government that collected the certificate of return, I want to appeal to him that this is another opportunity for him to make indelible achievement as usual. Because most of our governors in second term, they don't perform very well. But I want him to change the directive to let us know that, see, all governors are not equal. To prove us beyond the doubt that according to what he said, that the reward for hard work is more work. So under Tinubu, we want more progressive and infrastructure development in your state, like the Barasakula road that is ongoing. And I pray, may God Almighty God continue to be with him, not to delay in a good governance that we witness in your state. That's my own take this morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much
for that comment there.
You can also drop your comment on our Facebook page. That is Solutions 939 FM. Drop your comments there. Mr. Ajishokbe, Balikiza made a statement just now during the call. She talked about buttressing the fact that we've had so many politicians coming up and threatening fire and brimstone, and they've been going unchallenged or unarrested. Okay, we have a call.
Okay, let's take it.
Let's take this one.
Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
All right, so we lost that call. 0909 88 89939 and 0912 22 22 939.
Okay, I was talking to you, Mr. Shokwe. Okay, now going after those people, arresting them, wouldn't it be a kind of a warning or a kind of I don't know the word to use now, to others to stop them from coming up, and because every day we keep seeing like what she said about a statement made by the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party.
Let's not leave our fundamental human right, freedom of speech.
Yeah, well, freedom of speech, yes, you might say, but not incitement, not bordering on treason, treasonable felonies. Look, but I think what the security agencies, especially the DSS, is doing is that they are trying to manage the situation. If they go after anybody now, you must be caught in the act. They know that some people are up to some mischief. That's why they're putting out the word out there that we see you, we know what you're doing, this is your agenda.
I remember when Femi Fani-Kayode made a statement about the coup d'etat a few weeks ago. He was invited.
Yes.
So I think inviting such people is a good approach.
I think they have put them on notice. Publicly putting them on notice. Yeah, I can understand why the DSS is using what they call kid gloves. You don't want to arrest, invite, and then some people come out in their tens of thousands and start demonstrating. And when that happens, mischief makers will key into it.
Let's take this call. Good morning.
It's as simple as that.
Okay, we lost it.
That is what the security agencies I suspect they are trying to avoid. You just invite Obi now. You invite Obi and Dati Ahmed. Just invite them. Believe you me, they just allow their followers. And say, I'll be at DSS Yellow House or so date in so time. They will be there in tens of thousands. And you know what can happen from that. I think they're just managing the situation.
I think I get your point now with that illustration.
Let's take this. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Well done. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
But please, concerning Obi, that they arrest DSS, to me it's a bullshit.
Okay.
How do I say that? We have freedom of speech, and protest, peaceful protest, is the right thing.
But talking about freedom of speech, that doesn't mean you should make incisive the statement that will cause chaos.
The area of our leaders, those politicians, Keyamo, probably Dati, Baba, and Co. But what the youth are saying in a loud voice, are votes to count. If this protest is not just about Obi, because it's a protest that has been heard since. The protest of the youth against intimidation and bad governance. It is for me and you, including the DSS of the thing. You get?
Yeah.
But when you now start calling and they should pick them up, they should arrest them, they have a case in court already. So what they are saying is, constitutionally, you can't have a president who has not been constitutionally elected. Take for instance, you expect that you have a story for a president now and you have a case against him. How do you want the case to look like? Tell me there will be justice or there will be fairness in that case.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
There are rumors of any meeting with the CJN, meeting with blah blah blah.
Hello, sir.
Well, I'm sure he's still listening.
I was going to ask him a question. Now, I want to before you say what you want to say, Mr. Jokwe, I want to ask him a question. I'm sure you're listening. I don't want to mention the name of the contestant. He's a Guber contestant. He contested at the last Guber poll in Lagos State, and he made a statement saying that if he wasn't declared winner and sworn in by May 29, Lagos will burn. Now, how would you call that statement freedom of speech statement?
The self-assurance that he wants.
Saying that if you are not the one sworn in as the governor, Lagos will burn. I mean, that is am I wrong, Mr. Jokwe?
Exactly. I saw him.
That has gone beyond having freedom of speech.
And then he alluded. No, he didn't. It's not even an allusion. He said that then somebody who has not been constitutionally elected, I don't understand what you mean by that, because the umpire that moderates elections said, having fulfilled the constitutional, then you are in court. And then he went on to say that when that unconstitutionally elected man becomes the president and the case is going on in court, then it will not be fair and just that a man, and okay, Yar'Adua Obasanjo was in office, the court was in session, the Supreme Court was in session with Buhari in court. Buhari went to court 3 times. Even when he won, the other guys too went to court. 2019, Atiku was in court. The president has been sworn in. Are you saying that it is the president that controls the judiciary? I think people should have a better understanding of how these things work. Let me tell you, the fact is that.
Okay. Good morning.
Network.
Okay. All right. Yes, you said that the president-elect was unconstitutionally elected. What do you mean by that, sir?
At least we had the issue of based on constitution. It's clear. It's clear.
That's what?
You must win 2/3 and 25% of FCT. And
are you a lawyer?
As a president.
Are you a legal practitioner? Are you a lawyer?
Yeah, I'm with you.
You are.
So as a president, you are the governor of FCT. Being that you be in FCT to preside over the nation. So you should have 25% consent of the people that you are going to dwell with in FCT.
Are you a lawyer?
Yeah. So
did you answer the question that are you a legal practitioner?
Not really, but my wife is.
Okay. Well, you are not. Now, I am not a legal practitioner too, but I've seen this settled by the Supreme Court.
Can interpret some of these constitutions. Sure, you know, you are not necessarily need to be a legal practitioner before you can interpret some of our laws, some of our constitutions. That was clear.
Okay.
I can tell you that the Supreme Court has settled that several times, that the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, is equated with a state.
Yes.
That makes it 37 states.
That's the constitution that says, and FCT, you must have 25%. So they should leave it to the Supreme Court.
Well, I don't even want to talk about that.
I may have to, beg your pardon. I'm sorry. I may have to beg your pardon for a few minutes. If you can please call back. We'd like to go on a commercial break right now.
Let me just hang on. Let me just hang on.
You can hang on. It's just a few minutes. You can hang on and we continue the statement after this commercial break. Is that okay with you?
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Kadara, destiny. Who decides where we are born?
Gangs of Lagos. Now the ogbonge.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data, just use Momo. You wan pay for market wey you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account. Make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp sharp, because life dey simple with Momo.
Kadara, destiny. Who decides where we are born?
Gangs of Lagos. Now the ogbonge tori of Isaleko Street King, Obalola and in gang, with better actor and celebrity them like Toby Bakari, Adeswai Tommy Wellington, Chike, Iyabo Ojo, and plenty big names them. Chai! Gangs of Lagos, na correct film. Download Prime Video now. Make yourself enjoy 7-day free trial. Terms and conditions dey o. Oh yeah, jackpot to Prime Video.
Welcome back. Are you still there? Oh, we lost the call. Please
He'll
try
be
calling
back.
back.
He'll be back.
Okay, I think he just called back right now. Good. Are you the one?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, we didn't get your name. What's your name?
Adeni.
Adeni. All right, Adeni. Yourself and Mr. Adishok were having a conversation before that break.
Yes. I think the Supreme Court, I am not a legal practitioner, but I have spoken to senior lawyers and Abuja simply means Abuja is equated with as a state. That makes it 37 states, not including Abuja, I am told. It has to be, when you have 37 states, what is 2/3 of 37 states?
But my brother, the Constitution says 25. And
hello?
Well said. And
if you have been following Supreme Court judgment, which I have followed because I'm duty bound to follow it as my job, Abuja has always been equated. Abuja has been clothed with the status of a state. You get what I mean? Abuja has been clothed with the status of a state, which makes it 37 states. That is 36 plus 1. Then you just find 2/3 of 37. But
the Constitution that made Abuja, as a president.
I don't think we should overflog this issue. Let's wait for the Supreme Court.
Okay.
The issue of if, for instance, the similar establishment like that of INEC, introduced cashless policy. Some people went to bank and court way in and penned the order given by CBN, pending that of court with the court. And when the that supersede, which is the court, came out, everybody knew what. So people.
Yeah, break it up.
And then his line is breaking up.
So why not body wait in their various areas and let's wait judicial called the Supreme Court judgment. So you cannot have a president.
Adeni, your line is breaking up.
Well, if I get your number, I will certainly send you some judgments in which the Supreme Court has affirmed the status of Abuja as that of a state, and even on some elections, I will do that.
Okay, and while you do that, I think we should try to enlighten people that there is a difference between having freedom of speech and making
an inciting
statement that can cause chaos.
You see, you want to at this. It is this space. It is this union that people want to govern, and they are inciting people. You see, imagine you're on the other side of the divide. You are in office, and people are inciting. People should be responsible. Look at Muhammadu Buhari. He ran for office 3 times. You remember on one occasion he incited people and the loss of lives that resulted. The loss of baboons and whatever will be clothed in blood. And then it happened. I remember quite a number of youth corpers lost their lives.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Driving at the issue of those protestants.
Okay.
Those protestants are not harmed. If their protest is peaceful, nothing should happen to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody is aware.
Definitely.
This fight should have been fought long time ago by our fathers. Sorry to say, I will not call them cowards though, because if they have fought these wicked politicians before now, our generation will not be in this mess. And we don't want our kids, our own children, to experience the same.
And Obi is not part of that establishment.
Yeah.
It's not.
Like it. Take for instance, let's say Sheyi Tinubu or Davido is suffering. That is what I liken Nigerians to be. If you are in Nigeria and you are suffering, it's just like Davido or Tinubu suffering. With all the blessings, all the endowments that God has given this country. But because of mismanagement and all the heart of these wicked politicians, it should have been stopped long ago. So if our generation should come now and break that gene, I don't think it would be in a peaceful protest. He
who fights run away will fight another day. Consolidate on whatever gains has been made. Analyze and realize the fault. Look, the obedient movement is a composition of some forces. You know, the NSAS continuation, the youth movement, and then the ethno-religious components too. Religion played a part. Ethnicity played a part.
No, this is a youth movement. We are simply saying no to bad governance, intimidation.
It is a youth movement and it's called 95% in Anambra.
I didn't get you.
It's called 95% in Anambra, 96 in another state. That's a youth movement. You better go and analyze the result, please.
Hello?
You need to go and analyze the results nationwide.
I think that Mr. Adeniyi. Okay, we lost Mr. Adeniyi there. I think we understand what you're trying to say, but at the same time, we just have to move on the show this morning.
Yeah.
It's 7 minutes gone past 10 right here at Solutions 93.9 FM. Remember, you can still drop your comment on Facebook, Solutions 939 FM, and we can take 1 or 2 calls before we leave. The numbers that lead to the studio are 0909 88 89 939 and 0912 22 903.
Let's try to take some comments on our Facebook page now. I have this one from Adirunke Akuride Oladile. Morning, DSS shouldn't be telling us this. They should be telling us those they have arrested and prosecuting for the insane plot. Anyone protesting the results of the elections on the streets and or calling for an interim government should be immediately arrested and prosecuted. Enough of all this nonsense. Okay, that's Adirunke Akuride Oladile. Another one coming from Bossede Favor. That's quite lengthy, but I'll just take a few paragraphs. The interim government plot is certainly the work of people who are the enemies of this nation, that is, politicians who do not want the peace and progress of Nigeria. But the question is, since they have a motive behind who next should emerge as the next government, why did they conduct elections and watch with the masses elect our desired government? Okay, I'll stop there just as to be able to take other comments too. Almighty Adekunle, sincerely speaking, those who are clamoring for interim government are the enemies of Nigeria. Election has come and gone. Winners have emerged. So those who are not satisfied with the outcome of the election should go to court rather than calling for interim government, because we don't want violence in Nigeria. May God bless Nigeria. Oluwaseun Ruth, good morning. DSS should do their job by arresting those that want to cause anarchy in the country and stop acting on the pages of newspaper, but to do the needful, especially those that didn't want the president-elect to be sworn in when the case is still in court.
Is that everything? Let's take this call. Good morning. Oh, we lost it.
Okay, we also acknowledge your comment, AZ Malians. We have Sheikh Falabi And we have another comment from Agumbi Ade Sherifa. Okay, let's see if we can still take more calls. The numbers to call 0909 888 9939 and 0912 222 2939.
Mr. Adishokwe, I quickly want us to go to Lagos.
Okay.
The Chrisland saga.
Very sad one.
Yes. At least in the past 1 year, Chrisland has popped up on the newspapers three times.
For the wrong reason.
Yeah, you remember that excursion they went?
The wrong reason.
3 times. 3 good times. And every time, Chrisland is taken to court. Like you say, court is for justice. For judgment and not for justice. Let's take this first. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Like you said, court is for justice and not for judgment.
Yeah,
there is speculation, hold on, that no matter what comes out of Chrisland going to court, it will always favor Chrisland because of the owner of the school and the founders and the board of trustees. Is this true or not?
That's certainly not a fair thing to say. It is running down the judicial system in this country, and I won't speak for Chrisland. Some people have been charged for manslaughter. They used the public stadium. They used the public facility. Incidentally, that facility belongs to the Lagos State government. Now, I think the owner of the kiosk or the eatery where that girl got electrocuted is to be charged for manslaughter, and some other people, to be prosecuted too. Let me tell you, if the case is diligently prosecuted, I was referring to Police Act of 2022, that prosecutors should be, that's what the act says, prosecutors must be lawyers. If you just put a policeman there that does not know, the nitty-gritty of the law, there will not be diligent prosecution. But at the same time, the parents of that girl too, they must have their own lawyer too. And I think there's a provision of law. I remember Gani Fawemi tested it in the days of the Delegiwa, the death. You can prosecute by yourself. So I think if the parents of the girl, they would also diligently follow the processes. So I think I don't want to believe that.
I also hope that the proprietors and proprietresses of schools will learn from that when they take out schools on excursion or for inter-house sports competition like that, especially out of the school vicinity. I think they should be much more diligent.
Honestly, you want to take people out there, there must be a team.
Because these kids, you can't take your eyes off them in seconds.
Excitement, inter-house sports, So more team on ground, checking everywhere to be in order.
To watch their moves.
They got electrocuted from reports. And that's a very, very negligence. That's terrible thing. Negligence. Naked cables, electric cables on ground.
A 12-year-old girl.
12-year-old girl.
So sad. Okay, Mr. Adishokwe, I'd like to be thanking to you for being a part of our program.
My pleasure always.
This morning. Okay, we hope to see you and do this again same time next week. Do we still can we still take a call?
Okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Hello,
morning.
good morning. Just 60 seconds, please.
Oh, please, I'm wondering, if people that are supposed to be informed, I don't know the statement they are making. They have the opportunity to go to court if he has any case. Hello?
Hello,
yeah,
we
can
do.
hear you.
And you can see the statement being made by politicians. In fact, when I heard that the running wants to be speaking, I had to go and look for who is that, the founder of Basil University in Abuja. Saying that, in fact, I hope
Hello, are you there?
Hello?
Okay, your line is break, but I think we got to your point there. We got to your point. It's still buttressing the fact that if you are not satisfied with the outcome of the result, go to court instead of making inciting statement that can cause chaos in society. Okay, thank you once again, Mr. Adishokwe, for being part of the program.
My pleasure, Damola.
Thank you very much. It's about time for us to call it a wrap for the day and for the two of us for the week.
Yes, for the two of us for the week. Thank you very much for staying to Solutions 93.9 FM. Another team will be here again by 9 o'clock till 11, where they take you through stories of the major headlines, and you also have the chance to talk. Do not forget also sports will be part of the AM update. Please enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe wherever it is that you are going.
Okay, my name is Adida Malalafenwa. I just remembered now I might likely be on the show tomorrow again, standing for a brother of mine. Okay, wishing you a very pleasant day. Good morning.
And I'm not forgetting saying thank you very much once more for calling in, for tuning in, and for leaving your comments. We love you from here.
Hey, my friend, time now money. Make you not play with your work, yeah.
Time well, no waka waka, no gossip, no spoil another man. Use your time well.